Alright, Raiders, today I'm about to show you something that almost nobody in Arc Raiders understands. And it all starts with one skill, and that's completely overlooked by most of the player base. And it's called Blastborn. Most players think Blastborn is just a bit of explosion damage resistance skill, but that's not what actually makes this perk powerful. When I started testing Arc Raiders audio engine, I realized that Blastborn does something way more important. It reduces the post-explosion hearing dampening that the game applies every time a grenade or a rocket goes off. This dampening effect is the real reason you lose fights in chaos. Your mids collapse, your highs disappear, and you lose directional clarity for a half a second. You're basically deaf. But Blastborn cuts this effect down massively. With Blastborn, your ears recover faster, footsteps come back quicker, and your positional accuracy doesn't get destroyed every time that someone throws a grenade at you. So here is the part that matters. Blastborn is the foundation of the most broken PvP audio setup in Arc Raiders. This setup lets you hear enemies through explosion, track movement in absolute chaos, and pick up footsteps other players doesn't even know existing. Stick around because I'm going to explain everything you need to set up this properly and why Blastborn is the key to all of it. Let's start with the headset. I'm using the Razer headset, the Black Shark version 2 Pro for the testing, and before we touch the EQ, you need to understand one thing. Do not use THX partial audio for Arc Raiders. THX widens the soundstage and adds virtualization, but Arc Raiders does not use true 3D object audio system. That means that THX actually softens your left and right positional accuracy and blurs the exact frequencies you need to hear footsteps. And if you are not using a Razer headset, the same rule applies still to your either Logitech SteelSeries, HyperX, Corsair, Astro, or anything else you're using. Just turn off virtual surround, 7.1 Dolby Atmos, Windows Sonic, or 3D audio in general. All of those features smear the mids, widen the soundstage, and make movement harder to locate. Arc Raiders is designed around pure stereo positional audio. So regardless of your headset brand, stereo means accuracy and virtual surround means distortion. Now let's break down the frequencies inside the Arc Raiders because this is where the entire setup comes together. Footsteps lives between 450 and 1.2 thousand Hz. Movement and cloth noise sits between 300 and 500 Hz. Reloads, weapon handling, zip lines, metal friction lives in between 2 to 10 Hz. Explosions dominate the 60 to 250 Hz range, and that's exactly why they down everything out. This is where the night mode comes into play. Night mode lowers the volume of loud sounds like explosions and boosts quiet sounds like footsteps. The moment you turn night mode on, the low-end boom from your explosions gets flattened and the footsteps instantly becomes more obvious. But night mode alone is not the broken part. The real power is this, night mode and Blastborn skill 5 to 5, because they stack. Night mode reduces the impact of the explosion and Blastborn reduces the recovery time after the explosion. Together, they create a situation where your audio never collapses, even in the middle of a full chaos. So we finish the stack with the final piece. The custom EQ I'm using and I'm going to show you is exactly set up to the frequencies where footsteps lives and explosions don't. And here's the exact EQ I'm using for the Razer company for me. Also, you have to know that the Razer EQ is from -5 to +5 dB range. And you can take a screenshot, save it, and share it with your friends if they're using any kind of Razer headset. So, the lows are cut to stop explosion masking, the mids are boosted so footsteps and movement jump straight into your ears, and the highs give you reloads, ziplines, slides, repositions with crystal clarity. Now let's match the in-game settings because this part is also important. Output mode stereo headphones. Night mode on, music during gameplay off if you want to have PvP advantage in the game. Master volume needs to be on 75%, effects to 85%, music it's irrelevant, dialogue volume 10%, party voice 100, and proximity voice 140 because some people talking without even knowing. With these settings, plus your headset EQ, plus your stereo and night mode, Blastboard becomes the most important PvP audio skill in the entire game. And it's the difference between hearing nothing in chaos and hearing everything. This is the audio setup that nobody talks about. I have done hours of testing. I have played with all the options and settings that I could, and this is what I found. Write me in the comments if this guide works for you and how you can hear the sounds. Hit the follow button, it will help me a lot. I hope you learned something today and it will make you better on the gameplay. And also don't forget, join my streams. I stream almost every day for Arc Raiders and any other games. Stay online. Retrace out.
Banana, 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 banana.